Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoes, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas, keep. You with me, sheesh. Bonito, cheap, keep.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Yeah, head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, I can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Kendall's live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I dropped down the studio here a little bit. But what is going on, Mafia? Welcome back. Happy Black Friday, guys. Bitcoin pushing into our major key level of resistance, sitting at around $91,500. We are getting a little bit of turbulence here, guys. Are we going to get the bigger drop to the downside? Can we put in a higher low? What is money flow doing? Are we going to get the bigger retracement? Are we going down to 75K? What the heck is going on here? I want to cover some of the local support and resistance levels, guys, as we test our first major level here. We'll take a look at some of the key levels down below where we could potentially get a bounce, and we'll also talk about that next target to the upside. And I'm even going to cover the first major level that, if flipped, could make me feel a little bit bullish. Not necessarily for all-time highs, but maybe bullish for a bigger move up, and then we could start to approach the this time is different scenario as we get closer to some of those bigger key levels of resistance. Let's see. Shout out to Henry, said nothing special going on. Yeah, shout out to, I don't know if you're talking about like as far as sales or on Bitcoin. Yeah, nothing really too crazy happening here, but as we are testing this key level that we've been waiting for, I do just kind of want to update you guys with some new context and what we're going to be expecting here next on price action. Shout out to Henry, welcome in. We got Skizzle in the short at 93K. Shout out to Skizzle. Let's go, baby. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Welcome in. Rudy in the chat. Ligma Wick. What is going on? Said, lick your like button, people. Smash that like button, guys. And, yeah, let's go for it is going to be a short stream, guys. I have family visiting me right now. Yes, Mama Candles is here, guys. So I'm going to do a quick update. I got a timer already going here. We're going to go over Bitcoin very quickly. Maybe I'll cover Ethereum and some of the bigger altcoins. But it's going to be quick. We're going to come in. We're going to go out. And, yeah, we'll get you guys on your weekend with the key levels ready and prepared for some, I don't know, maybe lackluster, maybe crazy weekend price action. But thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us here. Let's see. Shout out to Skizzle, said, let's go, Frankie, with them candles. Come on, baby. We got Yoda in the chat. I don't know if I had to say that, but shout out to you, man. He says, yo, what is going on, brother? This time is different. Yeah, shout out to Henry. Obviously not my base case. But yeah, I know a lot of people like to entertain the idea of this time being different. And you know what? Hopefully it is different. Hopefully it is different. Grab your black coffee, Mafia. This will be a long one. Shout out to Ligma Wig. Yeah, this is one of those times where I actually do have pressure from the outside to make this a short stream. Hopefully, I don't disappoint my family. But anyway, guys, with all that being said, any move is acceptable. Just let it move. Yeah, shout out to Lucia. And I'm going to cover you guys. I'm going to talk to you guys about kind of how I'm positioned here. I am schlong right now, guys. That is short and long at the same time. So let me take a sip of this black coffee. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. All right, guys, here we are. Oh, by the way, guys, we do have, obviously, happy Black Friday here, guys. We do have the premium Discord Black Friday sale still going on. This is the day to do it, guys. And because today is Black Friday, Stick around. I'm gonna give you guys a coupon code. Obviously, we do have sales on everything other than the monthly. We also have our limited 2-year option here. We usually do this on Black Friday only. We only got 6 left here, so check that out. But the annual, the biannual, and the quarterly are all discounted. And then, of course, you do save money with that 2-year as well. But if you stick around to the end of the stream, I'm gonna drop a discount code that will save you an extra 10% on the quarterly, biannual, and the annual. So yeah, stick around for that. But yeah, this is going on, guys, right now. So check it out. And yeah, if you scroll down as well, we have the Market Cipher deals, the Lux Algo deals, and a NordVPN deal as well. So yeah, if you guys are looking to save money and get into that premium Discord, we just had a fire sale. No, we had a fire premium live stream. Premium is the alpha. Yeah, shout out to Honda, man. He was in the premium live stream just a few minutes ago. So yeah, we're having a great time over there. But I love coupon codes. Yeah, shout out to I don't know, maybe people can like guess the coupon code. But yeah. It's nothing really that crazy, but I will give that a little bit deeper into the stream here. Nice, I was about to buy it. Shout out to Solomon. Yeah, there is going to be only 10 coupon codes, guys, so it's going to be first come, first serve. So there's only going to be 10 of the additional coupon codes, but of course, Black Friday sale is just going to be base, right? So you still save money, but there's going to be 10 extra coupon codes to save an extra 10% off of these already discounted prices. So with all that being said, guys, let's jump on into the charts here. And as you can see, Bitcoin getting a little bit of a push up here. Now on Wednesday, guys, you will know that we were taking a look at our local range here, looking for the break to the upside, or not really necessarily looking for the break to the upside, but kind of just sitting on my hands, waiting to come up to our next key level of resistance. And if we pull up our major range here, you guys will know on Wednesday, we talked about this in the market update earlier. We were kind of creeping up towards these levels, and of course, we did actually have some bearish divergences forming here. We had the higher highs on our price, lower highs on our momentum waves, but at this moment, guys, we had front ran our actual key zone of resistance. So for me personally, I wanted to wait for that new high to come in. And of course, more often than not, you are going to come up and tap those key levels, or you will tap those key levels more than you won't, right? Like, obviously, there's going to be a situation where you could potentially front run the level and come down, but of course, more often than not, I am going to look for those key levels to get tapped. So obviously, we did get that push into our key level where we had our 786 Fibonacci retracement, our value area low of our macro range. And just to give you guys the overall context that I'm looking at here, pulling this volume profile over 2 ranges that I'm looking at, right? This first range is sitting here on this consolidation that we had back in February and December, all throughout those multi-months. But that's the first range. And then, of course, we do have the bigger macro range that we've been looking at, which is pulled to the current price action. But for now, until we wind up getting out of our local profile, I'm just going to keep looking at this. And then if we do end up breaking out of like 103 to 104K, we could turn this range off and then pull up the larger range and start talking about some of these other bigger targets up towards the value area high at 116K. But even looking at this, whether you're looking at this range or you're looking at this range, right, we are tapping on a very key level, guys. One of the reasons why I wanted to see price push up here is because it's the value area low of our range. And we also had the anchored VWAP coming down here. We also had a weekly MPOC. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? In all of its glory sitting there as well. And we even talked about that liquidity that we had sitting above $93,000. So when we talked about this zone, it's like, between about 91 and 92K, but we did have a little liquidity above that wick here. And we did go out and tap into that liquidity just slightly. You can see it here on the heat map. We came in, we flushed out the liquidity, and then got the drop down. And I am holding a short position over here on I'm holding a short position from here. Over on WeX, I'm also holding a scalp long position. But I really want to talk about today is, are we going to get a bigger correction? Obviously, we have been looking at this 4-hour money flow crossing into the green, which could indicate an overall continuation of our uptrend. But as always, right, and this value area low is very important, right? Because if we do end up flipping this into support and we're able to crack above these highs, we can eventually start targeting our bigger next zone of resistance, which is, of course, going to be the magnetic POC sitting at about $96,700. And we also have some daily MPOCs in there as well. So obviously, if we draw this out as a zone, it really does sit, I'm going to call it between about $95,100 and $97,000. There's not much in between if we break these highs. There's not a ton in between where we are there and that POC of the range. And of course, when you flip that value area low, it is going to be a high probability rotation into that POC, right? So it's like when we were wiggling around in our lower range here, and of course, I will cover some of the local levels of support I'll be looking at in case we are just going to go for a slight correction before continuing up. But just looking at this as a simple volume profile, value area low is going to remain resistant until proven otherwise. And as we looked at in the market update, we did get a little bit of a 4-hour bearish divergence. We got a few different bearish divergences in here. We got the higher highs. We got the lower highs. We got the 2-hour bearish divergence, same deal, higher highs, lower highs. We also have money flow trying to come out here on the 2-hour. 1 hour, didn't get the bearish divergence, money flow kind of flat. But one other time frame that I am looking at here, guys, is this 45-minute for a very specific reason. I bet some of you guys in the chat can guess what that is, but I'll bring that up in just a minute. But we do have the bearish divergences into the key level of resistance. If we do get the drop down, I want to talk about some of those key levels to the downside, also covered in the market update. But if we take a look here, guys, I'm just going to pull this profile. I'm actually not going to pull it like over the range. I'm actually just going to pull it to our current price action. Doesn't really move the value area high. But if we do wind up, of course, value area low, just to break it down nice and simply. This is going to be the doorway to higher prices, but it is going to be resistance until proven otherwise, especially if we have these bearish divergences forming and some of the money flow I'm about to bring up. But with our 4-hour money flow, which is a significant time frame to see money flow in the green, of course, we can anticipate the trend to continue up. That doesn't mean that you can't get a bigger correction down off those bearish divergences, but if we did, we could be open to looking for potential higher lows and higher highs to eventually reattack that value area low, flip it, and come up into that next key level of resistance. Now, key level number 1 I will be looking at, guys, is just going to be this value area high. It is sitting confluent with this structural high here at about $89,000. To be quite honest, there's not a ton of confluence here. Obviously, you have the structure, you have the value area high, but there are some lower levels that I actually prefer. That's not an MPOC. Let me just make that a blank level. So, if we do come back down, we could watch this value area high. This will if we do get this to play out, I probably will at least move my stop loss to break even on the short. If not, I will be taking profit and moving my stop loss on. But it really depends on what the charts look like down there. But that's going to be kind of stop number 1. If we see the dump down continue, this is going to be the first major level I'll be looking at, about $89,000 value area high and those structural highs as well. Now, of course, if we break down below this value area high, we could anticipate to come down to one of our more confluent levels of support, which sits between about 87, and this isn't even really my favorite level. Let me, we have the 2 daily MPOCs here between about $86,887 and $86,000. I'm also going to pull up this anchored VWAP from the low, right? And what we want to see here is confluence, guys. Right now, this POC of the range, anchored VWAP, and daily naked point of control are confluent, but if price decides to push down here, we could see the anchored VWAP move around a little bit. Maybe at that moment, it is confluent with the value area high, which is already a level I'll be watching, but if we get that anchored VWAP to come up and become confluent with that, it would just add at least a little bit more confluence. You have the value area high, the structural high, and the anchored VWAP. Right now, you just have the value area high and the structural high, which I don't really love that much. I'd much rather see that anchored VWAP come up. And if that is the case, that will be key level number 1. Now, of course, if we end up losing that level, let's say the anchored VWAP comes up, we wind up losing this, very clearly, I will be looking down to these MPOCs between 86,887 and 86K. The only problem here, guys, is when we pull our fib, right? Just from a very simple outlook, I'll just take off the volume profile, we'll hide the MPOCs. If we're looking for the continuation of the trend, pull the full fib from the low to the high. This does bring you all the way down between about $85,000 and $83,161. Technically, right, this is really going to depend. So let's say we come down, anchored VWAP moves up. This is your first opportunity to bounce off those highs. If we get accepted down below, I would really prefer to come test these this golden pocket, right? I don't love a move down to the 786. At that point, I am probably thinking that we're going to take out this low, but at the end of the day, it is an area where you could get a higher low and a higher high. It's really going to be a discretionary-based trade just because it really depends on what money flow looks like, right? If we do get the bigger dump, and I'm going to go over why we might be able to see that, but if we do get the bigger dump, this 4-hour money flow crosses back into the red. It's just not going to look very good. The idea of this continuation up is going to be pretty heavily based on this 4-hour money flow. So this is the thing to watch over the weekend. If we do get the bigger drop, hopefully it's kind of fast and that money flow can stay in the green. If it crosses into the red, I'm going to be a lot less interested in these levels. But as it stands right now, these are support, right? So pull back up the daily MPOCs. It's like you don't have the most perfect confluence here, to be honest, right? You have kind of the golden pocket daily MPOC between 85 and 84.3. And then you got these 2 floating MPOCs up here. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's really going to be very discretionary based. And again, like I don't even know if we're going to come up here and bounce off the anchored VWAP. It's really going to be like alert goes off, analyze the price, and we'll be doing that more in the premium Discord. But just to kind of show like what we're looking at here from like a simple standpoint is you don't really at the end of the day want to lose your 786 retracement, right? Once we lose that 786, 2 things I obviously don't like about that. Once you lose this 786, you're looking to take out this low. And the reason I actually prefer to bounce off this golden pocket is because once we wind up losing this golden pocket, guys, we're going to be losing our macro 786, which is not really what we want to do, right? If we pull from the low all the way to the all-time high here, you can see, right, like once you lose that 786, you got to get a pretty quick reclaim, right? Because if we get down to that 786, you got to get above, flip that golden pocket back to support, because like once we start losing that, lose that 786, guys, I'm not only looking to take out this low, but I could be even looking to take out $74,000, right? Now, it wouldn't happen immediately. It would be more of like, it'd probably take us a little while to get down there, but this is a very, very key high time frame level, $85,500, which again is why I would really prefer to kind of just stick on top of that golden pocket, right? It's like, could you look for the long at the 786? Yes, but if you get rejected from this 786, it's just not looking good. So let me take some of this off the chart real quick. Bada boom, bada bing. Take off that 786. So yeah, I mean, we got a lot of support down here. It's going to be kind of difficult if I'm being totally honest, but you know, golden pocket 786, always going to be that full move, right? That's always going to be an area that I'm looking at. And then again, if we get the early bounce, just kind of giving all the sauce possible here, going to be watching that $85,000 value area high, right? I'm not going to mark out this whole value area, but hopefully that anchor VWAP comes up, right? Key level number 1. Once we lose that, I'm going to be looking to come down deeper into that range, into our next key levels. Does that make sense? Just pull up those daily MPOCs. It's just, I hate this, right? Like you pull up the daily MPOCs and it's like, anytime you have like a big zone like this, it gets kind of difficult, right? Because it's like POC, daily MPOC confluence, it's kind of like a big zone there. But you know, I'm not going to tell. Again, it's reactionary, right? It's like if we come down here and I see the reaction there, well, that's an area I'm looking to take the long. If I don't have confirmations down there, I'm just going to look to come down to that next MPOC. No confirmations there. I'm looking to come down to the golden pocket, and then at that point, right, we can't hold that golden pocket. Probably looking to break the lows. You know, best case scenario, if you're not going to break the lows, is you would view this as a typical volume profile. Right? I'll take off the golden pocket, right? You could just view this as a volume profile, right? Get accepted in here, POC, another opportunity to bounce. Once you lose that point of control, you are going to be expecting that value area low at the end of the day. So I'll just be viewing it through the eyes of this range. But hopefully, with this money flow coming up, guys, on the 4 hour, for the move up, I'm hoping if we can't come up from here, we can maybe bounce off the high, maybe bounce off the POC. And again, with that money flow coming up on the 4 hour, you need that, right? If we come down here and this money flow crosses red, it's not looking as good. And again, I can't front run. It's impossible for me to know what that money flow is going to look like until we get down there. So those are the big key levels. Kind of a lot to look at, but you guys can screenshot these levels, get them on your chart so you know exactly what you're looking at. And I'll even mark off the value area so you guys know the range to look at as well. Bada boom. So you can just get these levels on your chart, pay attention to them, and again, all eyes on that 4 hour money flow. Now, the question becomes, is there a high probability of getting this rejection? At the end of the day, we come into our key level of resistance, very plain and simple, guys. We get the confirmations, we take the trade. If it doesn't play out, I'll probably stop out for a small loss. Long will continue to pay me out. But when we look at this, right, bearish divergence on the 4 hour, bearish divergence on the 3 hour, bearish divergence on the 2 hour, no bearish divergence on the 1 hour, right? So 2, 3, 4 hour bear divs into a key level of resistance. And one other thing I'm looking at for the move down is the fact that we have this 45-minute money flow creeping out. And something I've brought up recently on past streams this week is that this 12-hour VWAP, 16-hour VWAP, and daily, or not really the daily, but really the 12 and the 16-hour, these look quite overextended in my opinion, right? We're already been above the zero line for about a week. We've tried to come down. We got support for the next push up. So one thing I will be watching over the weekend is if we get this 12-hour red dot to print. This 45-minute money flow is definitely heading out. And if we see that 12-hour red dot with the 45-minute money flow crossover at the same time, that could indicate that you are going to continue to see lower highs and lower lows where we could target those next key levels of support I just brought up. But that would be what I would look at to start the bigger move down. Look for that 45-minute money flow crossover. We have some low time frame green dots looking to print, so maybe we chop around up here a little bit more. But if that dump is going to continue, this 45-minute money flow is going to be the big thing that I'm looking at. And as a matter of fact, I'm actually going to set an alert here real quick. Market cipher B. Crossing. And we're going to need the money flow crossing the zero line. And we're going to do crossing down. So once that money flow crosses over, we'll get the alert. But that's what I would look at, right? Just a simple market cipher B, 1/16 strategy there. And hopefully, that will help. Again, I'm schlong here. So we get the dump down, Long will stop out. Short will continue to pay out, and then we'll look for new positions down here. If we push up first, stop out of the short, have the long continue to play out. And again, that next big zone of resistance is sitting between 95,187 and I would say about $97,000, right? Just looking at the value area low, POC. Now, if we can break above this, guys, like the general major levels of resistance, we're already in the first level. This is what we've been waiting for. Finally, we've come up to tap it. If we don't get the rejection here, these are the next two major levels. Now, obviously, 95 to 97K has a lot of confluence. We have the daily MPOCs. We have the weekly MPOC. And I actually believe I accidentally deleted one of these MPOCs. Let me just mark this back out. It's right about here. So we do have those two daily MPOCs, weekly MPOC. And if we're able to flip this, of course, right, get above the low, opens up the door to the POC. Of course, I will be looking for rejections here, whether it's a small scalp short for a higher low and a higher high, or if it's going to be a full rejection down to much lower prices. I'm going to be interested in rejections at this area. Once we end up flipping this level to support, this opens up the door for a pretty significant push up, guys. This is kind of the first sign of strength that I'd be looking for. Not calling for all-time highs necessarily, but it does indicate that we can get a very high probability move, at least up to our biggest level on the chart, guys, the mother of all levels, which is, of course, going to be that 50-week moving average, which is obviously confluent with our daily MPOC, our value area high, and if you want to mark it off as a zone, we have a weekly and a daily MPOC leading all the way up to 105K. So when we look at this from a high time frame perspective, guys, the reason this is so big is, of course, because every time we've lost the 50-week moving average, especially having two weekly candle closures below the 50-week, has always indicated that the top is in. Hopefully that's not the case, but it's just what it's indicated in the past. I don't make the rules. And every time we do that, any retest that we get of that 50-week has proven to be impossible to get over. Right? Every single cycle. So this is the biggest level on the chart right now. And we do have confluence, right? It's not just the 50-week. It's the daily MPOC, the weekly MPOC, the other daily MPOC, and the value area high of the range. So this, once we get that level, I'd be open to seeing a bigger move up here. And then if we can get above here, guys, things start to look a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. We'll cross that bridge if and when we get there, right? I'm not going to cover every scenario that can play out. We're still pretty far away from this, but just to give you guys an idea of the biggest levels, right? It's like we get up here, right? It's feeling pretty good, but this is still a big level. Once we flip that, I'm feeling pretty good. This would be a nice little pump to the upside. You know, give it another 8% push up in here, and then we can start talking about, well, hey, if we have high time frame money flow coming back up, maybe we can entertain some bigger pushes up, which, of course, as I said in the beginning of the stream, we would hide this range and bring up our bigger range, which we obviously have the 786 value area high at 116K on top of all the liquidity that we have on top of 116K as well. Try to pull this up on the heat map. I got to go pretty high time frame for this. Right here, right? Massive, massive liquidity level at 116K, which, of course, is also confluent with the 786, directly above those highs. So taking it step by step, right? I don't want to show this full range because we might not even be able to make it up here. That's why I'm showing the more local range, and it gives us nice context, right? Flip the low, POC is open. Flip the POC, value area high is open. This is the biggest level on the chart. I can't guarantee we get up here, but if we do, it's going to be very, very important. Whatever goes down here is going to be very, very important. So there you go, right? I think that's it, right? That's pretty much what we're looking at, guys. We'll see. Bitcoin's just kind of been chopping around here for a while. But again, for the bigger move down, watching that 45-minute money flow crossover, if we pop up, get above the value area low, we can start to look up towards 95K. The only other thing I can see in between us and 95K is, I mean, we've already rejected this high, right? Maybe we come up and reject this previous structural high at about 93.7. But again, there's not a ton of confluence there. There's no daily levels or anything like that. And if I pull up these dailies here, you do have a daily here. I don't think I brought this up. Let me pull up the anchored VWAP once again. Yeah, I mean, 87 to 86. You have the daily there as well. The only problem is, right, the only reason if we come down, this anchored VWAP's going to move. So it will no longer be confluent with those levels. So I'm not going to lie, guys. Like, the levels to the downside are difficult right now. But yeah, I would say very simply, 45-minute money flow crosses over. If we could finally get this 12-hour red dot, it'd be a good indication that you might be able to continue down. But I'm schlong. I kind of am indifferent here. Just waiting. Similar to what we did last live stream, right? Just waiting for my key level to get hit here or the bigger key levels down below to get hit. The only difference here is I'm holding positions, right? So it's like either stop out of the short, long plays out, hit the next key level, or stop out of the short, or stop out of the long, short plays out, look for the next levels, right? So we'll see. I do have family visiting today, so just kind of wait for that notification to pop up. Your long was stopped out. Your short was stopped out. But we'll be winning either way, which is nice. Let's see. Today's the day I get a hat. Shout out to Rio Grande. We're gonna be rooting for you, bro. You're the honorary CandleMafia member that we will root for today. Doesn't actually increase your chances of winning, but hey, it's morale, right? Moral support. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to BTC Bill gifting the Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go, baby. Thank you for that. Come on. Shout out to BTC Bill. Guys, these memberships are not cheap. Drop BTC Bill some love in the chat. And shout out to our new members here. Drop the, drop the German short hair emoji. Drop the dog emoji that you just got access to show some love to BTC Bill. Let's go, brother. I appreciate you so much. That's very generous of you, bro. I know these memberships are not cheap, and I know the Mafia appreciates you as well. All right. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here. Show some money flow. Shout out to Field Marshal. There's the money flow. The important crossovers for me personally, right? Like, I hate to be like super confusing here, but yeah, like the reason why I am entertaining the continuation up here, guys, is like the higher time frame money flow, right? Like, and by high time frame, I do not mean the 3-day. Like, this all still looks bearish. I'm not going to cover it, right? Because I've covered it so many times. I will let you guys know when this gets invalidated. This is still there. This does indicate the higher probability of a macro retracement for a lower high and a lower low. Until that changes, that's what I'm going to be expecting. But when we look at the 4-hour, crossing into the green. When we look at the 5-hour, crossing into the green. When we look at the 6-hour, attempting to come up. 8-hour, attempting to come up. This could indicate that even if we get a little pullback, we still have an opportunity to put in higher lows and then higher highs, right? So, short term, maybe we see the bear divs play out. If we could hold that support, money flow stays in the green, we can look for the higher lows and the higher highs. But in my opinion, right, it's worth it to at least take shots at these levels. Well, number one, we waited for this level to get tapped for quite some time. And number two, it's like if this market does just want to go dumpy again, right, which has been kind of the scenario here, not really a lot of opportunities to catch the shorts. It is, in my opinion, worth it to take a shot up there. Now, I'm not as gassed on this short position as I would be from the ones that we had up at 107.4. And the reason for that is because we've gotten a massive move to the downside. You don't want to get overly bearish after you finally hit macro support and you have money flow coming up for a potential bigger retracement. So we'll see. Gave the levels to the downside, levels to the upside. And again, just keep it in mind, guys, like 95 to 97K, we flipped that. It's actually looking okay for a bigger continuation, in my opinion. And at that point, we've already gotten a significant retracement. I just pray, guys, if we get up to the 102 to 105K level, I'm just really hoping any shorts that we take up here, it's probably an opportunity, right? Just looking at the past cycles, that could be the short down into the bear market, right? I'm not going to overexpose myself there if there's not beautiful confirmations or anything, but just, again, you look at the cycles, every time, proven impossible to get above that 50-week. Boom, massive bear market. Lose it, retest it, massive bear market, right? And even in 2014, we didn't get a full, I guess actually, no, never mind. You did get more of a local retracement back here in 2014. Bitcoin was a totally different animal there, but you get the drop, the retest, that was your last opportunity. So it doesn't mean that it has to be that way this cycle, but looking at past history, guys, it is definitely an area to be interested in my opinion, right? That's just what I'm going to do. All right, let's see here. Shout out to BTC Bill. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you watching that money flow. Shout out to BTC Bill with a $50 super chat. Come on, baby. Come on. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much. And I hope you had a great Thanksgiving as well. Guys, I don't eat turkey on Thanksgiving. I don't do it. I'm sorry. I'm not a turkey guy. I'll eat like a little piece just for like the festivities. But I'm more of a green bean casserole stuffing and let's just be honest, guys. I eat the sweet potatoes. The maple syrup covered, marshmallow drenched sweet potatoes. That's basically my dinner on Thanksgiving. Let's see. Awesome opportunity. Yeah, shout out to Diamond. Shout out to Diamond. I would agree. I assume he's talking about that 50-week moving average. No turkey. Gosh. Shout out to, man, I got to make this text bigger, guys. My eyesight's going by the day. Shout out to the real Ashley Gates. Yeah, no turkey for me. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's like sacrilegious for Thanksgiving, but, it is what it is. Not a big, I don't know. I like chicken. I don't like rotisserie chicken. I feel like turkey gives me like rotisserie chicken vibes. Just don't like it. So you're vegan. Got it. Shout out to Rudy. No. Steak is like my favorite meal. Next to chicken parmesan. Turkey makes you tired. Yeah, get that tryptophan. Will go up. I hope so. Shout out to Mitt. I think is Knit. I don't know what that says, but shout out to you, brother. Yeah, I hope so. Money flow in the medium time frames again. Not looking super bad. Maybe we get these high time frame VWAPs, invalidate that 45-minute money flow. But again, I'm just waiting to get stopped out of one of these positions, and so I can finally take some profit, right? Because I've just been scalping through this, and ever since this 107.4 short that we had in the premium Discord, guys. Like literally the last opportunity to short before coming down. Hopefully, that wasn't our 50-week moving average retest, and that was the last opportunity. But ever since then, right, I've not been FOMO shorting. I've just been catching tiny little scalps here. Still making money on the way down, but it's been a bit of a challenge trying to catch those scalps, waiting for the next big opportunity. So, given that turkey pardon every year, so presidential. Shout out to the wolf. Yeah, just pardoning him. You're good. I don't want to eat you anyway. Get out of here. All right, let's see. Fried chicken. Yeah, I guess chicken parmesan's like baked chicken, right? No, I guess it is. I think it is fried. Actually, chicken parm does have fried chicken in it. I love steak. Turkey put me in a coma for a few hours yesterday. Yeah, is that true? Is that a myth, or does that actually make you tired? Is there enough tryptophan to make you actually tired? Shout out to Skizzle. Said, Frankie, do you like male chicken? No. Female chicken only. How is COQ doing, by the way? Dang. Somebody said long COQ, and I was just thinking to myself, too late. Too late. I already longed it, like, over here. Great buying opportunity. Nah. But, yeah, anyway. Kentucky Fried Turkey. Ooh, it doesn't sound too bad. Maybe for fried turkey. You know what I do like? Big turkey legs. Like, you ever go to Disney World and they give you those big turkey legs? Those are pretty fire. Wagyu steak and chicken parm. Yeah, Wagyu is, whoo, baby. That is my favorite steak. Shout out to Mrs. Candles for ruining my perception on good meat. Good steak. Anyway, guys, I'm going to take a quick look here at Ethereum. Like I said, I am on limited time here. But let's take a look at Ethereum real quick. Jump into checking that Bitcoin dominance real fast. Yeah, not really too much of a big update here, guys. Yeah, dominance still bing bong. I'm just not going to repeat this. Take a look at that higher time frame money flow. Daily money flow trying to continue out here. 2-day money flow attempting to come back out. Got these green dots printing, though. Yeah, not really a big update. Still, the biggest thing I would be looking at here on dominance, guys, is this 4-day money flow crossover. This would indicate some kind of a bigger downtrend continuing. We just got to wait for that. This moves like molasses. But let's take a look at Ethereum here. I'll just cover some key levels. Still, not really much of an update here on Ethereum, guys. Kind of a boring week, to be honest. We came down to our key level of support with our 12-hour bullish divergences, as we've covered on the live stream, as we were waiting for this level to get hit. We tapped into that key level with our bullish divergences, higher lows, lower lows. We're continuing to get the retracement here. Next key, major key zone here on Ethereum is going to be the golden pocket 786 value area high, sitting between 32.47 and 35.20. Patience. Now, the one thing I will mention here is if we pull up that 50-week moving average, something worth looking at here is, it's a bit of a zone here with all this confluence, but you are rejecting the 50-week moving average right now. So getting above that would be nice for the bigger continuation. If you're wondering why we're getting a little turbulence here, probably that 50-week. Now, 50-week on Ethereum is not necessarily holding the same importance as it does on Bitcoin, but it is still a major level. So if we can get above that, that's where we can come up into these bigger retracements. Excuse me. We also have the 4-hour money flow coming up. 5-hour money flow, all looking the same as Bitcoin. So this could also indicate that maybe we can continue a larger trend to get that bigger retracement. But again, we're going to have to wait to come down to see what the charts look like. Hopefully this money flow can all stay in the green. Your 6-hour, your 8-hour even looking to come up here. So come on, give us a little relief here. This isn't enough. What was this? On Ethereum, it was an 18% pump. On Bitcoin, it's been 15, 14% pump. Come on, give us a little more relief here. And then shock everybody and flip it and send it. But yeah, other than that, that's what we're looking at. All right, if we got some kind of massive drop to the downside here, I mean, your next major zone, you guys know this. Of course, within the context of our overall volume profile, we break in, we can't get out. Could be the start of a larger journey, potentially, into the POC of the range. Might get some support there, right? And then we could eventually look to come down towards that value area low. That's obviously assuming that we're not going to get the bigger breakout, which, again, higher time frame money flow is not necessarily pointing to, at least at this moment, right? 3-day money flow, still in the red. 4-day money flow, kind of flat. 2-day money flow, still in the red. 5-day money flow, still in the red. 6-day money flow, still just crossed over. And your weekly money flow is now starting to cross over into the red. So this still just keeps me cautious for massive macro lower highs for lower lows. Of course, that can change as we approach the levels, but I can't call that until we see the money flow at that point. So same sentiment as on Bitcoin, obviously different levels. Next big zone of support for me, if we do just break below these lows, is going to be sitting between about 24.49 and 22.39. Daily MPOC, point of control of the range, daily MPOC, right? Lose this, probably going to come play down here. So there we go. And also, one other thing I did want to bring up here on Bitcoin, guys. I hate to do this, but when we talk about big high time frame confirmations, right? When we're looking at the indicators such as Market Cipher A or Market Cipher B on the money flow, one thing I have to bring up here is one of the other very, very, very big signals that we like to look at. Let me go ahead and pull up our EMA ribbon. I'm actually going to take the 9 ribbon off, hide the 50-week. One thing here, guys, this is similar to the weekly money flow crossovers, right? The weekly money flow crossovers indicate, for example, in 2021, massive lower high, massive drop into the bear market. You can see the money flow crossover. Massive signal. This does not happen often, right? Money flow goes green, massive trend to the upside. Money flow crosses over into the red, massive bear market. And another one of those big signals that we look for, guys, are these EMA ribbons. You guys probably, if you have not been watching this channel since I started it, you probably haven't seen these EMA ribbons, because really the only time I look at them is when we're starting a bull market or potentially entering a bear market. And you can see here, one of those big signs that we see when we play around with that 50-week moving average or we come off a major top is that these EMA ribbons go from like lit up to grayed out. This indicates a potentially massive trend change. You can see we have not done this at all throughout the bull market. It's typically not the case. As long as these stay lit up, you're good to continue to the upside. Like even back here, we didn't see them flip flip gray. They stayed lit up. We even got back above them. But once it starts turning gray, guys, typically a big sign that you're not going to be able to get back above these and come down for a massive dump. And as you can see here, we are starting to see these flip gray. Now, they're not all gray just yet, but I'm going to keep a close eye on this, because if these all start doing what we saw in 2021, guys, just another thing that is lining up. I keep searching for some kind of secret, unknown, bullish confirmation, and in my journey of doing that, I just keep finding more bearish confirmations. I wish it wasn't the case, but it just is. So, just should have made the title that, like, potentially massive bearish sign popping up here, right? And, of course, we could potentially play around, right? Maybe we come back up and play with it, but it has proven to be very hard to get back above these levels as well. And as we start to see these turn gray, again, the reason I bring this up with so much importance is because it does not happen often, right? Even here, we were still lit up, we get back above. Still lit up, we get back above. We are now starting to see these flip gray, which very clearly is not a good sign. Actually, might be a little similar to this little one turning gray. But we do not want to start seeing it do this, right? If it all starts flipping gray, very bearish sign. You can see it even kind of faked out here. Lit back up and then turned gray again. So, something to watch, right? And if you're on Market Cipher A, you'll see these pop up by default. So we do not want all these to turn gray. Not a great sign. Hopefully this green dot on the weekly can get us back above them, and they don't continue to go gray, and we can blast off there. But until then, I'm going to be very cautious. And again, where's this come in at, guys? Where's it come in at? Confluent with the 50-week. And, well, this now moved, but also confluent with the value area high and those next major key levels of resistance, right? 102 to 105K. Value area high, MPOCs, right? It's the same level I showed you before, but just like kind of another thing there. Massive resistance right up in there in those ribbons. Huge level. Another reason why I say this is the biggest level on the chart. Fake out, maybe we could see the bigger move up. If not, massive resistance until proven otherwise. So there you go. All right, let's see. Short stream today. I actually have 16 minutes left, guys. I have a timer here. When I really have to get off early, I have to set the timer. Shout out to Ludacris. Luda in the chat. What is going on, bro? Say good to see you, Frankie. Good to see you as well, brother. Welcome in. My hair is turning gray with this price action. Yeah, shout out to D-Gen. I feel you, brother. I feel you. All right. That is what we're looking at on Bitcoin. We took a look at Ethereum. Maybe I'll take a quick look at Solana. Probably not a big update here. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, guys, because it all looks almost exactly the same as it has the past few live streams, right? Next key level of resistance. Obviously, the POC is your local level. You're above the low. Based off volume profile theory, stay above the low. Doorway to the POC is remaining open. If you can get above there, we have this confluence here on a golden pocket, anchored VWAP from the top, N786 Fibonacci retracement, sitting between 152.37 to 161.03. Other than that, right, money flow looks exactly the same as Bitcoin and Ethereum, trying to come up here on the medium time frames. Hopefully that can continue us up into these bigger retracements. Other than that, we break down below these lows. Key levels of support remain exactly the same. Lose the lows. We have a daily MPOC sitting at about 118.84. Daily horizontal sitting at 112.74. And then we have some more confluence here. But at the end of the day, guys, if we end up, let me just take these off the chart real quick, because if you're not looking at that, there's your 786. If we break down and can't get back above that 786, at the end of the day, we are going to be looking to take out this low. Again, doesn't have to happen like this instantly, but eventually that could be the next stop, which is why a lot of these other levels, it's like, you know, you're losing your volume profile. You have all your higher time frame money flow attempting to come out here. Yes, I know this 3-day money flow is cracked back into the green. That's not enough to call it a fake out, in my opinion, right? This could easily just roll over into a bigger red wave. In order for this to be a fake out, we need this money flow to come up in a big way. 4-day, still kind of flat. 5-day, still just crossed over into the red. So again, like any of these bigger bounces are going to be looked at as macro retracements, and it could come up pretty high, guys. All right, like get that pump, maybe a pump into this fib zone. Like it could be a significant move up, but higher time frames still not looking super great for massive blast off into new all-time high. So you're just going to kind of come up to these levels, identify money flow as you push into them, and hopefully it all changes. It doesn't look probable to me, but it's definitely not impossible. So yeah, that's what I'd be looking at on Solana. A small loan of $1 million. Shout out to John. I'll take a small loan of $1 million. Shout out to Mustafa. Says, hey, Frankie, it doesn't make sense that alts are already at bear market prices, and then we go into a Bitcoin bear market without alts pumping first. What do you think? Shout out to Mustafa. I get it. I just don't know what the... Like, here's the argument for the altcoins, right? Like, you're really hoping that Bitcoin can get the strong retracement, I mean, at least up to the 50-week moving average. That's where maybe you have an opportunity to see an alt season come in some form or fashion. I just don't know if it's guaranteed. I just don't know if that's something you need to see happen, right? There's nothing about an alt season that, like, of course, we obviously see alt seasons happen in the past. I just don't know if that's like a condition that needs to be met to guarantee that you're in a bear market, right? Or that you can now finally go into a bear market, right? Like you don't, and of course, right, it's happened in the past, so is it lower probability that it doesn't happen here? Maybe, but at the end of the day, right, like you have to think to yourself, like, what's the risk to reward here? It's like, what if, right? What if there is no alt season, right? Just holding on to the fact that, like, well, it just doesn't, we have to have alt season. Like, the cycle can't end without alt season. My question is, why, right? Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, But I just don't know if it's something like I would personally never just hold on to all my bags and say, well, it's just we haven't seen alt season yet, so like it's got to happen, so I'm just going to hold my bags. That's just like not a good enough reason for me personally to hold my bag. Doesn't mean it can't happen. But your hope here for the altcoins is that if you see the bigger retracement on Bitcoin, hopefully dominance continues falling and we could see some kind of a retracement alt season come in. But yeah, I can't say it's guaranteed, right? I've never been someone who's been up here like guaranteed alt season on this day or anything like that. So it would be nice to see that happen. It'd be very disappointing if everybody just holds their bags and then eventually it's just like, oh, well, everyone was waiting for alt season, never happened. It's going to be a brutal, right? At the end of the day, you have to make a decision, right? And there's a risk on both sides of that, right? If you want to hold your bags, there's a risk that alt season never happens and you wind up holding on for much lower. And then if you don't hold on, you have the risk of potentially having it happen without you, right? One of them, you lose money. One of them, you don't lose any money. You miss out on potential gains, but yeah, I don't know if it's guaranteed. But the hope here is if you can get the bigger retracement, hopefully we can see the altcoins start to fly. We'll get a better idea of what that's going to look like if we are able to get that bigger retracement. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Shout out to Skizzle, said it's going up forever, Laura. I don't know what Laura said, but yeah, Bitcoin up forever. Never down. Never down. Let's see. Nirvana said, my question is, why 4-year cycle? Well, doesn't need to be the 4-year cycle. The only thing is, right, it's like you would just think, you just can't ignore it, right? I mean, I'm not going to go into the whole thing because I've covered it so many times, but, just shout out to Nirvana. It brings us to that whole thing is like, could this time be different? And just like every other cycle, the answer to that question is yes, this time could be different. It just never has been, right? It doesn't mean it never will be. So you just can't ignore that, right? Like, and again, whether we're going into a full-blown bear market or this was, this is just not, it's just going to be a bigger retracement down. It's not going to be a full-blown 70% bear market, which is definitely possible. I would still say, right, like it just doesn't change the fact that we're seeing all these high time frame bearish confirmations, all the money flow coming out. It just doesn't change any of that, right? It's like if I didn't even know about the 4-year cycle, I would still up here have been saying, we got the massive bear divs, we have massive money flow coming out. I'm still bearish, whether I think it's a bear market or not. The charts are just bearish. And we're up since about 108K. It's been pretty clear. So, and even continuing on, it's like, it is looking very similar to like, hey, if we can even come up to the 50-week moving averages, like this money flow could be green dot, ebb or flow to the upside for money flow to continue into a bigger red wave, indicating a lower high and a lower low. Whether 4-year cycle or not, this will be the expectation off the charts. So I don't really, obviously I'm open to this cycle being different, right? Maybe they print money, something like that. That would 100% change things. But until that actually happens, it's hard to front run all that stuff. So, and we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Let's see. Come on, BTC, push up. Come on, baby. Shout out to Apronoski. The BTC cycle, does it follow the macro cycle? Yeah, shout out to OB. So here's my stance on the 4-year cycle. If you guys watch the channel, you'll know this. I am not somebody who is just going to stick by the 4-year cycle and ignore everything else, right? At the end of the day, we pull up, I guess I'll do it. Pull up the SPY over Bitcoin. Well, I guess we'll just look at this cycle for now. It tracks traditional finance. If they start printing money, guys, and we get massive money printing, this is, in my opinion, very likely to create an environment where we see a melt up. At this point, right, if we get the massive money printing sooner than later, yes, we're ending QT. That does not necessarily mean that they're going to have a massive liquidity injection right then. Could still have some time. But if we did get the money printing, let's just say tomorrow they're like, oh, massive money printing. I think that would lead to a very likely melt up in the stock market. And I would not be fading that idea that Bitcoin will follow that just because of the 4-year cycle. Why? Because you can confirm that this time is actually different, right? We're starting massive money printing at the end of the bear market. If the stock market melts up, obviously, anytime Bitcoin's in a bear market, the stock market's in a bear market. Anytime we get pumps on the stock, but this tracks almost 1-to-1, right? But again, that is understanding that like this time is actually different with actual money printing. So I would not just stick to the 4-year cycle. Like if the charts looked super bullish, even right now, right? Regardless of money printing, regardless of anything else. If we had massive bullish signs here and the charts were calling for all-time highs, I would have no choice but to come up here and be like, hey, guys, I think the bottom's in, all-time highs incoming. But we don't have that, right? We have all this bearish stuff on the chart. So the only thing, in my opinion, that could maybe change the way this plays out is if we actually see the money printer go brrr, right? That would very likely change everything. Stock market melts up, Bitcoin will follow, right? And at the end of the day, if they start printing money and for some reason the stock market just dumps, Bitcoin's probably going to follow. So I would never stick to the 4-year cycle if there was a legitimate reason to expect something different. But right now, there's just not a lot that I can pull up that is showing that this time is massively different on the charts. And it's very hard to predict exactly when they're going to start the money printer. So I think they will have to do it at some point, right? They have no choice. When is the hard thing to predict. And also, you kind of have the middle ground as well, right? Where it's like maybe you don't go into a traditional 70% bear market. We've covered this many times in the past. Maybe it's just a little bit of a, bigger retracement, right? This would be down to this value area low that we have down here, 56%, something like that. Maybe the chart is still bearish. It would call for more downside. This would make sense. But maybe they start money printing. Maybe we get an earlier bottom, a shallower bottom. There's also other reasons to expect a shallower bottom. We have no retail up here. A lot of less panic selling. Maybe institutions prop it up. So maybe we see something play out like that, right? And what I would just be saying no, the 4-year cycle calls for a 70% at least pullback in the bear market. If I see bullish confirmations down here, maybe they start the money printer or something like that. There's going to be things we can look for down here to identify that we're not going to go into that full-blown bear market, right? But again, it's we need to see the stuff actually happen. So there you go. There's my 2 cents. That's all I'm going to go over on the long term because I've covered this so many times. Once we get above that 50-week moving average, I would start saying to myself, okay, well, this is something different. We've never seen this happen, ever, in a Bitcoin cycle, right? We've never been able to reclaim the 50-week this long in the cycle off of these massive bearish confirmations, right? 4-year cycle is an addition in confluence, not the only thing that you look at. Again, as a matter of fact, the charts went. Here's the thing, guys. If Bitcoin looked like the all-time high was coming in here forever, I would have been calling for that if it was on the charts. It wasn't, right? So I can't call for it. I wouldn't just be like, put the 4-year cycle, right? If something crazy is happening and it looks like we're going to dump, right, I'm just going to go with that every single time. But anyway, so there we go. That's what we're looking at on Bitcoin. Let's come on down here. Oh, my God, we lost 91K, guys. Going to zero. It's going to zero. So real quick, in recap, guys, before we start this giveaway and give away the, what is it called? Discount code, the additional discount code for the Black Friday sale on the Discord. If we get the dump, we're looking to come down to the key levels we covered before, right? With the 4-hour money flow, if we get the pullback, actually, I'll start here. If this 45-minute money flow crosses into the red with our 12-hour red dot, I would expect that 45-minute money flow crossover to indeed start the bigger drop down, but it's not all a lost cause just yet. It could just be a retracement, right, to put in higher lows before higher highs, right? And, of course, that next major zone is $95,000 to $97,000. This 4-hour money flow is needed for that to be the case. If we come down here and this money flow crosses red, it's not looking as good. If we can keep it in the red, if we can keep it in the green, we could look for higher lows and higher highs. So that's my base here. Either the short will pay us out, long gets stopped out, or we just rip up out of nowhere, flip the value area low, and start heading up towards 95K, in which case the short will get stopped out, the long will continue to pay. That's what we're looking at. Shout out to Gen Z. Thank you for getting that membership, bro. Welcome back to the Mafia. Lifelong member. Shout out to Gen Z. Let's see. Prefer weekend cycles. 4 years off. They start nagging. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Here's to hoping we get a new high. Shout out to ERAM. I hope so. Is that DMB Smurf? Your name is now ERAM? Maybe it's not. I don't know. It looks like Smurf emoji. Or a Smurf. Or no, is that a Smurf? I think it is. But shout out to ERAM. We could hope. All right. Let's see. All right. Shout out to Tony D. Let's run some giveaways here. We got the 10 bags of USDT. If he can drop those, and I guess we'll do it here, guys. If you guys want to check out the discounts here on the Discord, FrankieCandleTrading.com, we got some nice deals here, and I'm about to drop a secret code to get you an extra 10% on top of these already discounted prices. First 10 customers, guys. There's only 10 spots left, or only 10 spots to begin with. The code, let me just make sure I don't butcher this. The code is Black Friday 10 for an extra 10% off. First 10 people. So there you go. First come, first serve. It's out of my hands. So there you go. All right, let's see. Throwing cash all over the place. Shout out to James. That's what we do, baby. And Tony D says, does not apply to the 2-year. Yeah, this obviously only applies to the discounted prices, right? Monthly is the same price. Annual, biannual, quarterly, all discounted. If you use that code, you get an extra 10% off. First 10 people. And then this is just, we don't ever offer this. We only offer this during big sales. There's only 6 left here. So that's already discounted. So there you go. The code is. The code is, shout out to Flip and Frank. Code is let's see. We should have done that. Should have made it bing bong or let's see. So there you go. Tony just dropped that code in the chat. Nirvana said, I'm broke. Blame the 4-year cycle. Oh, God. Shout out to Thomas. Said, can't wait to join. Shout out to Thomas. And, of course, guys, if you don't get one of the 10 discount codes, these are obviously still already discounted. I just wanted to show a little extra love because we ran this sale a little early. Today's Black Friday, so we'll drop another extra 10% discount code. Huge discounts. Let's go. Shout out to Realistic P6Y. All right, there we go. Winners are... Oh, no, never mind. That was... fake out. That's the discount code being pinned. And then Tony will drop the 10 USDT giveaways. To enter the giveaway for the USDT, guys, you just got to be in chat. And your name could potentially get picked. Frankie Candles is out of his little square in the bottom left. Am I out of the square? What the heck is going on? I'm here. Shout out to Ever. Welcome in, brother. Right time for the giveaway. Come on, Nightbot. Frankie, get your Nona to make turkey parm next year. Yo, turkey parm might slap. Shout out to Ligma Wick. I might actually be fire. It might actually make me like turkey. Shout out to Rudy. Have a great weekend, bro. Be safe. We'll see you here back on Monday. Oh, there we go. Timer is up. Well, I guess no giveaway today, guys. I'm just kidding. Oh, my God. It won't shut off. Oh, my God. Can you guys... All right, hang on one sec, guys. It's broken. The timer's broken, guys. All right, I had to hit it. We're back. Yo, shout out to Fantasy. Said, join the premium. It's like marriage. Once you're committed, there's no way out. Shout out to you, brother. Tyler Jordan said he's going to pick 10 people at random. Shout out to Solomon. Said subscribed. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Pick me 10 times. Shout out to Tyler Jordan. You win 10 giveaways. Shout out to Tyler. Let me just ping Tony. It's probably hacking the mainframe right now. Shout out to James. Said if you can specify the exact odds of the continuation of the bull market versus the bear market, what would you choose? Shout out to James. Like the exact statistical odds. It's like I don't have like legit information, hard numbers that I can put on that. But I would definitely say, based off what we've seen in the past, based off the technical confirmations on the chart, right now it is looking much more probable that we are likely headed into a bear market. This does not mean that it is guaranteed a bear market, right? Like, it's always going to be a probability. So I would definitely put the percentages weighed in the favor of a bear market, but that doesn't mean that I'm just going to emotionally hold on to the fact that we're going into a bear market. I'm a trader, right? As soon as I see the reason to change my sentiment, I totally will. But I would definitely say the odds are more in the favor of a bear market, just based, again, like I cover this so much. I hate to be repetitive, but it's like we've just seen so many things. The multiple weekly candle closures below the 50-week. Every cycle, not just 2021, every cycle it's proven impossible. There's no exception to this. We're never been able to get above the 50-week, right? So it's like historically, again, based off the same bearish confirmations we had in the previous cycle, massive bearish divergences, and the big thing is all this high time frame money flow coming out. right? Where we of all these signs were on the chart, where we eventually got the move down, we got the retracement, and eventually after that retracement, we eventually saw that weekly money flow cross into the red for a massive bear market. And then you could also take into account the timing of the cycles, all that stuff. There's just way more bearish signs than bullish signs. Doesn't mean it's impossible to crack to the upside, just lower probability, right? At the end of the day, if we get back above this 50 week and we start snapping above the 786 at 116K, this is something that we've never seen before. So it's not like you would see something that you've never seen before and be like, I'm just going to stick to the bearish sentiment because history has to repeat, right? If the signs are more bullish and we see the technical invalidations, at that point, it's pointless to just remain bearish, right? You have to flip that sentiment if you want to continue making money in the market, right? A lot of people just remain emotional and be like, no, it's impossible. 4-year cycle, 4 years, whatever it is, right? But something that we understand as traders and analysts is that the chart's not 100% right every time. There's a chance that it could be wrong. But it's just there's overwhelmingly similar things happening to the previous cycles. And even without thinking of the cycle or the 4-year cycle or, previous bull markets, bear markets, like at face value, right? Let's just pretend we don't know we don't know any. This was the first cycle, right? Where this is the first price action we've ever had on Bitcoin. Massive monthly, weekly, 2-week bearish divergences, all the money flow coming out on all of the higher time frames, right? Not my opinion, just simply the case, right? These don't happen very often. Even the 5-day money flow crossover crosses into the green, bottoms in, bull market. Traditionally, same thing here. Money flow crosses green. Or actually, crossed over a little earlier, but once you get that crossover, right, bottoms in, bull market. Once you start seeing that high time frame money flow cross back into the red, this does not happen very often, right? Yeah, like slight fake outs here, right? But at the end of the day, you get the crossover, the bottoms in, bull market. Once you get the crossover, maybe we get money flow to fake back out into the green, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a new high. So you just have, I would say, probability-wise, the probabilities are much more high in the favor of the bearish case. It doesn't mean that, doesn't mean that's impossible to get the bigger push up, right? It's a game, but you have to change your mindset from a prediction-based mindset. This is what gets people wrecked. The prediction-based mindset is gambling, right? It's just, this is the bottom, we're going to new all-time highs. It's not that simple, right? It's what we can say is based off of all these bearish evidence pieces, it is a higher probability that the bear market is here. I can move forward with that probability, but I understand that the probability being higher is not 100%. It is overwhelming right now, though. Once we flip the 50-week, it starts to look a little better. Once we start flipping 116K, it starts to look a lot better. But again, we've never seen this happen. If it happens, well, now we have something different to analyze, right? Also, it doesn't change the trading situation, right? It's more of like the long-term spot bag that people want to know about this stuff with, or for. Let's see. Oh, there we go. USDT winners. Hey, shout out to Thomas, bro. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, bro. He says, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the farm, bro. Or enjoy the fam, brother. Shout out to Thomas. Thank you, brother. And I hope to see you in the premium soon, bro. He said he was looking to join. We hope to see you in there soon, man. Let's see. So the winners of the giveaway, shout out to Lucia, shout out to Mike, shout out to Crypto Hollywood, Tony Roaz, Link Marine, hey, shout out to Link Marines, Resident Crypto, Rat something, Sam, and Fantasy Killer, and Mendon. Mendely, I can't see. The text is super small, guys. But shout out to you. If you see your name in the pin chat at the top, go to the free Discord, go to the Help Center, and claim your free bag of USDT. All right, guys. Well, you guys all saw the timer go off. That is about all she wrote here. And look at that, guys. 638. Also forgot to say this, guys. WeX also still have the $400 welcome bonus. If you guys are looking for a place to trade, kind of like a Black Friday deal, you get up to $400 in bonus funds for the first signups. So shout out to that. And with all that being said, that's all the time I got. I got my mother waiting for me, guys. I'm going to go spend some time with the family. Have a safe weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. And I'll see you guys here next week. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Coach, what's next for me, Joe? I'm going to get that second bell. Where the f*** is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spin for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving it energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside.